Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's go. Kick it off. Uh-oh. Oh, man. Sound like one of them. Yeah. Sound like one of them. It sound like one of them. It look like one of them. Huh? It look like one of them. Ah, share this beam out. Yes, sir. Hey, man. Let's go. Peace and love to all the Moors, all the Muslims, all the Asiatics. Y'all ready? Come on in. Welcome to the beam out. Welcome to the beam out. You see this on the wall? Is this on your wall right here? This flag right here should be on your wall right now. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. This flag right here should be on your wall. You really want to start doing something that's like people knowing what you is, how you dress, what you flying in the background, and let me know where y'all tuning in from too. You know the rock up in here, south side, east side, crazy, out west with it, up north, west coast, east coast, down south, up north, overseas. Come on into the beam out. Y'all ready? We finna go ahead and go crazy. Hey, look. See this right here? Look at this. Let me show y'all something. Let me show y'all something real quick. So it was a little quote that popped out. I'm looking over Noble Drew Ali, peace be upon to the prophet. I'm looking at Noble Drew Ali having some quotes and whatnot, right? I'm looking at the prophecies and hadiths of Noble Drew Ali. Let me know where y'all tuning in from. Check it out. So he say this right here. He say this right here. You are going to be saved, but in a conflict that cannot be told in words. This is what he's talking about. This is what he's talking about. When they be like, nah, Noble Drew Ali, he was calm and he was cool and he never raised his voice up. Yeah. This is what he said. He say, I'm going to save you all if I've got to kill you all. This is what the prophet was talking about. And they try to act like, nah, he always kept his composure. He never said nothing crazy. I'm going to save you all if I've got to kill you all. Huh? They be thinking, see. You know what it is, though? You know what it is, though? It's the colonization of the mind. You know what I'm saying? It's the colonization of the mind. Look. Then they say this, though. Detroit 313, what up, though? Let me know where y'all tuning in from. You know what it is? It's the colonization of the mind. People have become distracted and defeated by their beliefs that they keep holding on to. They hold on to these beliefs. They not peeping the dark psychology. They not peeping the dark psychology. Baltimore Islam. They not peeping the dark psychology. Oakland Islam. See that? Dark psychology is up and running. Hey, check it out though. But you know what's real beautiful though? New Heat. Check this book out right here. Tavistock Institute. Crazy. Social engineering the masses. Fam. Look how crazy this is, G. Look at this. It say, beauty is truth. Truth is truth, beauty. That is all ye know on earth. And all ye need to know. Arizona Islam. See this? The beautiful part of it is the truth is beautiful. But in today's times, people glorify the lies and they push the truth off. They reject. It's so wild outside. The social engineering is so crazy. People today's time, more than ever, because it's so much information and misinformation and disinformation that's available. People really don't take the time to cross the T's, dot the I's, and make sure it's a fact. Is it truth? Is this something that I can look up? ATL, Southside Islam. They don't do that no more. You would think with all these smartphones, people will take time to dot the I's and cross the T's, but they not doing that though. They not. The majority of people are socially engineered. That's why they're able to be controlled. Look. Look at this. Let's check this out. Let me show y'all this. Look at this. So Noble Drew Ali, the prophet, you see him. He wrote this in the 1920s. He say this right here. He say, I could tell you some things that would turn your brain to water. You know, I used to read this passage right here. Like real shit. I used to read this and I used to be like, what the hell did Noble Drew Ali mean when he said he could tell you some things that'll turn your brain into water? This is why you gotta be vigilant. You gotta be industrious. You can't just be like, more science just deal with religion. It don't deal just with religion. They deal with the science of law, the science of government, the science of astrology, the science of mathematics, the science of language, the science of agriculture. Pretty much the science of everything is covered in the Circle 7. This is why these sellouts don't direct you right here. They're not going to direct us to go right here. So we got to get it out the mud. Look at this. Now remember, he said, I tell you some things that'll turn your brain into water, right? Check this out. He say, unfreezing solid beliefs and values. Watch how crazy it's finna get. Unfreezing, right? Remember he said he could turn your brain into water? See that? Tell you some things that'll turn your brain into water, right? Check it out. A lot of people hold on to beliefs and values. Watch what we're dealing with when we're dealing with psychology. This is more science. He say, each one of us has some beliefs and values engraved deep within. Most of them are the principles that were instilled in us since childhood, and others have been acquired from experiences as we grow older. We rarely let go of them, but revise them as we proceed. So this is why it's so crucial. This is why the dark side, when they open up these daycare centers and they open up these schools for young children, why they pushing so much transgenders and drag queens reading to them, because the child's mind, if you get them at a young age, if you instill corruption inside them, you can corrupt them forever. This is why we have to start as Moors, upright, independent, and fearless. We have to start teaching our children younger and younger who they are, because it's a real psychotic world out here. All right. You got beautiful stuff out here and you got psychoterrorism out here. Check it out. So it say most of them are what make up our identities. So we do not like them being interfered with. If at any point in time these principles are threatened, contradicted, or questioned, our natural reaction is to defend them through all means possible. However, if a good enough reason is given to us, so we voluntarily question them ourselves, we undergo a process known as unfreezing. Oh, unfreezing. Listen. So going back to this, watch how go on, brethren. Shout out to all the Moors out there in John Rock. Yes, sir. So if we go right to this, right? Look. Hold up. Let's go ahead and turn up. Let's go ahead. See? I'm going to see where y'all at right now. I'm going to put this on. I'm finna see where y'all at right now. I'm going to see where all y'all hip-hop heads is at right now. Let's just see. Let's just see where y'all at right now. Where you at, man? Hold up. Where y'all at, man? It's crazy because now I can't find it. Ain't that shit crazy? I'll find it in a minute. But look, so we talking about unthawing the mind. I could tell you some things that would turn your brain into water. Now, again, when you tell a child a lot of things, when they're children, like Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy, when you tell a child certain things because they are a child, right? A lot of those beliefs that they got in their head, they're going to freeze. A lot of the beliefs that people have all together, their mind has a belief that is frozen. This is why it's difficult for people to drop facts on them and for them to receive them, because their mind has been frozen. This is what I believe in. This is what I believe in. My values ain't going to change because they're frozen in this solid belief and value state. This is why it's so difficult to reach a lot of our people in general, because their mind is frozen with cognitive dissonance. But the crazier part is they think that they're educated. See? They think by all them degrees on the wall that they highly intelligent, they're highly educated. Education does not mean intelligence. I'm going to say that again. Just because somebody is highly educated, that does not mean that they have high intelligence. There's a difference. There's a difference. So what can happen to make you unfreeze your mind? It says tons of reasons can lead us to unfreeze. A breakup, the death of a loved one, religious interference, getting evicted from your house. You know what I'm saying? That's some things that'll get your mind to be like, hey, look here, man, I can't be on the same stuff that I used to be on. That's what's happening outside. People outside are having an unfreezing process. That means that their beliefs are being thawed out. They're frozen solid. Their values are frozen solid. You can't reach certain people. They got to get it on their own. So when they get it, then slowly but surely, their beliefs are going to go into, hey, I need to look this up. I really need to look up that people been telling me I'm a crayon color. I need to look that up. I really need to look up this entire thing when they told us that, you know, people was Indians, and you really need to look this stuff up now. Hold up. Because if we go right here, then you would say, I put a post up with this Moabite. She was on there talking. She was on there talking some law. She was talking about this document right here. 1740 Negro Law, South Carolina. All right. This is how crazy it is. This is in the Library of Congress. You will have people argue and debate with you. How you going to argue and debate with me when this is in the Library of Congress? Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? How you going to argue and debate with me? Hold up. How you going to argue and debate? They talking about white people. No, there's no Negro people. There's no white people. There's no black people. There's no yellow people. There's no none of that. 1740 declares all Negroes and Indians. See that? Negroes and Indians. You thought you thought you were safe by claiming that you was an American Indian, huh? Let me show you this document that these sellout black educators, they never gonna show you. So we got to show each other the information because they ain't never gonna show us. Straight up. What does it say? It say Negroes and Indians who now are free accepted to be slaves, the offspring to follow the condition of the mother, and that such slaves are chattels personal. You see that? So you thought that you was safe by saying, nah, I ain't gonna claim black, but I'm gonna claim to be an Indian. You ain't safe. What, you thought you was safe? Not according to the 1740 Negro Law. Huh? Not according to that. Hold up. You thought you was safe over there? Hold up. You know what? Let's go to 1724. If you thought that 1740 was crazy, let's go to 1724. We got to start getting familiar with this. Like real law, real solutions. Because it's going to keep happening. If people's mind is still frozen, their beliefs are frozen, their values are frozen, you're going to keep talking about a skin game. And it's the color of my skin why we get treated like that. No, sir. It's not the color of your skin. All right. It's your ignorance of law. That is it. It's not the color of your skin. All right. And the words that we use. Christian black codes. Code Noir. Noir is black in French. 1724. If you thought that this was crazy about the Negroes and the Indians, you see this? Hey, fam, they still running these black codes today. This is what these sellout black educators are not going to tell you. They not going to show you no receipts. They not going to show nothing. All they going to do is get in front of the camera and start complaining, start talking and tell you, it don't matter what you call yourself. Ignorance like that. So look at this. 1740, right? No, 1724. Codes Noir. Look at this. Let me know if this don't relate to this right here. Look at this. It says permits the exercise of the Roman Catholic creed only. Every other mode of worship is prohibited. Don't people run the church every Sunday? Huh? Don't they run the church every Sunday? Talking about how saved they are? Huh? Don't they do that? They love talking about, I need to go to church on Sunday. Hey, if you looked up the codes Noir, the black codes, these codes, this is what we got to get in our head. These codes still exist. Peace. These codes right here still exist, and they're being run right here by Slave Patrol today. See, this is the crazy part. The crazy part is our people today think that the black codes don't exist no more. They think that they're free. They could be carefree with their words and say anything. Your paycheck does not mean that you disqualify from a slave. This is why, look here, man. This is why they could be like, they could shut down Diddy in 2 weekends. They could shut him down. Cat Williams was talking about this the beginning of the year. They could turn your lights out in 2 or 3 weekends. They're doing that now. This is the black codes, fam. So when police always be like, police profiling, that's the Christian black codes. All right, that's this. When you identify as that, a person of color, you're putting yourself in a modern day property code system. This is what our people ain't got no idea of, that we got to start getting out there. This is another reason why you never identify as a person of color. Because once you do, everything works off voluntary contract. So when you say you're a person of color, right? You're a so-called black person. You just put yourself in the black codes. It's crazy because that's what's really happening. Let me prove it to you. What does it say? Negroes placed under the direction or supervision of another person than a Catholic are liable to confiscation. Don't they put people on house arrest? Don't they do that? And when they put you on parole or they put you on house arrest, don't you got to check in with them? You got to check in with them, right? Huh? Exactly. You still got to check in with them. Whole time. That's the black codes. That's the black codes. Look. So when they say we forbid, look, it says this right here. It says children issued from the marriage of slaves shall follow the condition of their parents and shall belong to the master of the wife, not of the husband, if the husband and wife have different masters. They talking about slave, man. Slaves. Property. When you say that you this, you saying that you're property. You know what? You need to see it. You need to see it. You need to see it. That's what it is. You need to see it. So let's pull it up for you. You need to see what's going on.
No, you know why? Because legally, right? Legally, by law, the Negro Act of 1740, literally it says that blacks, Indians, African Americans, and Africans, those are all terms for slave chattel. If you identify as black, African American, African, or Indian, or Negro, you're property, and you are property of the United States Corporation. That's why when you are born, they give you a social security number. That is your barcode. And as soon as you sign that birth certificate, you are handing your child over to the state, which means that's why they can come and take your child if they don't like how you're treating your child. It's the same thing with a vehicle. When you register a vehicle, you are handing it over to the state. That's why they can come and put a boot on your head if you park in the wrong spot, because it's theirs. That's why they can lock you up and throw away the key, because you are theirs. So the only way to get out of that is to claim a nationality. Our last label, our last term that actually holds weight is Moors. In 1492, when they took our shit and we lost that war and we lost everything, we were identified as Moors. Look up the Peace and Friendship Treaty. That's all I'll say.
So once again, day by day, you're going to start seeing, you're going to start hearing. See, this is what they don't want. They don't want the Moorish woman to wake up and start talking about this at all. Once the Moorish woman wake up and start talking, that's going to bring that divine feminine energy back. See? They want the women, especially Moorish women, our women, to be stuck in a masculine. They want them stuck in survival mode. They don't want them working with the man. Because once you combine divine masculine energy with divine feminine energy, you have a nuclear explosion. This is why they don't want to do that. The only true Americans in the Americas are Moorish Americans. Point blank, period. There are no other Americans. Europeans are not Americans. People that come from other nations, they're not American. You have to be from the Americas. That's how you be an American. You can't just come over here from Europe and say, oh, I'm an American now. They don't work like that. You can't come over here from Africa and say that you're an American. You're not American. You can't come over here from Russia or nowhere over there, China, Asia. You can't come over here and say you're an American. This is why there's no such thing as a Chinese American, Indian American, African American, European American. You can't come over and claim American. That's a violation of law. It's a violation of the Constitution. That's why if you do have a constitution, look up Article 3, Section 1 and 2. It's laid out flat for you. Laid out clear as day. Unless you are an American, your mama, your father, always traced back to your great grandma and all them. You're not American. Just because you're born in America, that doesn't make you an American. See, once the people start waking up to this, and this is what's happening right now. It's the age of Aquarius right now. The truth is airborne. You will get it right now if you want to. So look at this. Hold up. Look at this right here. Let me show y'all something. Show y'all something right here. So the Moabite, she was on there talking about black and Indian and Native American. All those are slave brands. Look, Section 2, same document she was just talking about, right? Peace, more. Same document she was just talking about. It says that color is prima facie evidence that the party bearing the color of a Negro, mulatto, or mestizo is a slave. 1740. 1740. You know how this right here is activated? It's crazy because this right here is voluntary. No one can make you say that you're a Negro, a black person. No one can make you say that you're an Indian. No one can make you denationalize yourself, because that would be a violation of free will. See? This is why Noble Drew Ali, the prophet, said he brought everything it takes to save a nation. He brought us back our nationality. He brought us back the keys. He brought us back the law, because we didn't forget. That's why so much chaos out here right now. People done forgot the law. So 1740, you seeing who the slaves are. Look, it says right here, in the second provision of Section 1 of the Act of 1740, it is declared that, quote, every Negro, Indian, mulatto, and mestizo is a slave. It doesn't matter what my opinion is about this. It doesn't matter what your opinion is about this. If you're not dealing with real law, real history, then you're stuck in a frozen mindset, a frozen value mindset. You're in opinion land. You're in la-la land. Your opinions and beliefs and values, they mean nothing in reality. Get out of la-la land. Stop listening to these so-called black educators and black influencers tell you, it don't matter what you call yourself. You can identify as anything. Yeah. Let me ask y'all a question. Because we be having all kind of intelligent people on here. All kind of intelligent people. Asiatics, Muslims, Moors, hybrids, Europeans. It be all type of intelligent people on here. So let me just throw this at y'all. Right? People will complain, these so-called black educators, they always in the victim mentality type narrative, right? Let me ask y'all this. If the so-called hybrid Europeans, they stole everything from us, right? This is the narrative that they try to paint to make it seem like we're in a perpetual victimization mentality. This is what they paint. They say that the hybrid Europeans, they came over here. First, they brought us in slave ships, but they never showed the slave boats. They brought us over here, right? They never show how these 20-ton Olmec heads got over here. They never show that. The Oltecs, the Aztecs, the Toltecs, the Mayans, they never show none of that. I'm talking about this right here. They never show none of this. They never show, if we did get brought over here on slave boats, then why did they bother bringing these Moorish basalt heads with them? Why would they bring evidence over here to show us we really existed in a time before the calendar? I mean, we existed. Do you realize we've been on this planet so long? We've been on this planet before they start using the calendar. Damn. Before that. So how did they bring these over here? If you do want to run with the black educators and you want to run with the victimization mentality, how did these get over here? And on top of that, we talking about people, hybrids. We talking about hybrids that people say, the same people, they'll say these people came out of caves. They didn't know how to wash, bathe themselves. They didn't know how to talk. These are the same people who love playing these little goofy ass games. And they'd be like, the European hybrids, they'd be like the white people, right? They're not white people. They're hybrid Europeans. So these same people chained us up, right? After we put them in chains, they crawled out of caves, started talking, then started teaching us languages from them. But they the ones that came out of the caves, though. The Caucasus Mountains and all that. That's them people. So how did they come out of caves and started teaching us language, English and all that, French, Latin, Spanish? How did them same people come out of caves and what was we doing? So we was watching them come out of the caves and then they just took over everything. Look at my face. How does that story make sense now in your head? With all this information that's available now, how can that make sense in your mind right now? This is why, to me, why I see the Prophet Noble Drew Ali was getting to when he made this line right here. When he said this line right here, when he like, look, He say, I could tell you some things that'll turn your brain into water. I could tell you some things. This is what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali was talking about. Because the belief system, if it's frozen in your head, you got to get unfrozen. You got to stop being so distracted. That's how our people being defeated. We distracted. We distracted. Then you go back here. This is 1740, Library of Congress. Argue with that. Don't argue with me. Argue with the Library of Congress, because this was published and printed there. That all Negroes and Indians was going to be slaves, mulattoes. That's there. But guess who's exempt? Guess who's exempt from that type treatment? Take a wild guess. Who's exempt from that kind of treatment? Who you think is exempt? He say, this right here. He say, what? Section 4. The term Negro is confined to slave Africans, the ancient Berbers, and their descendants. It does not embrace the free inhabitants of quote-unquote Africa, such as Egyptians, Moors, or the Asiatics, such as the Lascars. So these people are the ones that's free from this kind of constriction. These people are free from this confinement, this slavery. Moors, Egyptians, Asiatics. And you know what's crazy? This was crazy to me. You will have people that be like this. It don't matter what you call yourself. Why didn't the Europeans take the name Moor if the European hybrids took everything? Ask these so-called black miseducators that. Why did the hybrid Europeans stop at the name Moor and they didn't take that and say, this is who we are now? They ain't do that. But what they do though, they took the name Indian. Hey, yo, how do you have at the powwows, right? The powwows, how you got hybrid Europeans participating in your powwows? Why are they there? Why are the hybrid Europeans there at a powwow that's supposed to be for Indians and indigenous people? Hybrid Europeans, they not indigenous to these lands. Actually, they not indigenous nowhere on the planet. So why are they at your Indian powwows? Right. Let's go. Let's go. See this right here though? Look. Oh, we got, listen, man. Oh, we got something for you though. Hold up. I want you to see this in full color. Look at this. Take a listen to this.
During the colonial period, mid-1600s, rich white people.
Check it out.
Enemies are black and brown. It starts in the colonies.
Listen.
Of what would become the United States. Let's remember, during the colonial period, mid-1600s, there was no such thing.
Israelites are Moors. Israelites by itself is not a nationality, though. Good question.
As white people.
Listen.
Of what would become the United States. Let's remember, during the colonial period, mid-1600s, there was no such thing as white people. I know some people who are now called white find that shocking.
You heard them? Hold up.
What would become the United States.
Listen.
Let's remember, during the colonial period, mid-1600s, there was no such thing as white people. I know some people who are now called white find that shocking.
Yeah.
Right? Because they think whiteness is real. Right? But whiteness was...
Are you listening?
There was no such thing as white people. I know some people who are now called white find that shocking. Right? Because they think whiteness is real. Right?
There you have, again, what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali prophesied in the 1920s. Say it ain't so, fam. Say it. Just say it ain't so. What did he just say? Hold up, man. You got to hear this again.
But whiteness was...
Hold up.
There was no such thing as white people. I know some people who are now called white find that shocking. Right? Because they think whiteness is real.
Right? Again and again and again. Moors that's upright and independent and fearless gonna bust your head with receipts all the time. This is an all-time thing. This ain't no let off. Ain't no let off. Do you understand? He say, what? He say, watch the newspapers and listen to the radio. I'm going to make the European tell the truth. I'm going to make the European tell the truth. So what your sellout black leaders gonna say now? What these sellout black influencers gonna say now? You got a hybrid European up here telling you that white is it's made up. It's a lie.
There was no such thing as white people. I know some people who are now called white find that shocking, right? Because they think whiteness is real, right? But
you have a hybrid European. This is what I'm talking about, Jay. So this is what I'm talking about. When they act like Noble Drew Ali was something to play with. They act like he was some little slight love. You know, he came and he did his little thing or whatever. He got some people together, but he wasn't really on nothing. You better start putting more respect on Noble Drew Ali name. That's what you got to start doing. Islam. Because he wrote that in the 1920s. And it's still happening today. How can prophecy, you're looking at prophecy right here. He said he was going to make the European tell the truth. He is telling you the truth, though. Are you listening?
Rich white people, that there was no such thing as white people. I know some people who are now called white find that shocking, right? Because they think whiteness is real. There was no such thing as white people. I know some people who are now called white find that shocking, right? Because they think whiteness is real.
Let's go.
Right? But whiteness was created. Europeans didn't call themselves white. We didn't call ourselves white. We weren't all members of one big happy family. Are you kidding?
What?
There was no such thing as white people.
What?
I know some people who are now called white find that shocking, right? Because they think whiteness is real, right? But whiteness was created. Europeans didn't call themselves white. We didn't call ourselves white. We weren't all members of one big happy family. Are you kidding? Have you studied the history of Europe? The history of Europe was about killing each other. That's what we did in Europe. We just killed each other before we figured out there were other people to kill. We just killed each other. Right?
Are you listening to what's going on? Noble Drew Ali the prophet said, I'm going to make the European tell the truth. And here you go again with another receipt. A hybrid European telling you that whiteness, quote unquote, was created. They created that. Frederick Blumenbach, Carl Linnaeus. Look these names up. Edward Bernays, Sigmund Freud. Look these names up of these people. Whiteness, so-called whiteness, is an invention. It's created. It's not a real people. Run it up.
I mean, that was the history of Europe. The English hated the Irish, right? Northern Italians didn't even think that Southern Italians were Italians. The Germans hated everybody, and everybody hated their ass right back, right? There was no team called white, no race called white, but all of a sudden, in the middle of the 1600s, there was. Why? Why was it suddenly necessary?
Why was it suddenly necessary? Why? Why was it suddenly necessary? And keep in mind, hold up. He talking about the colonial times, right? Right? He talking about the colonial times. And he talking about in the Americas. Let me go ahead and give you another receipt. Let me go ahead and give you another receipt on the side note real quick. Look at this. Because we've been brainwashed and our thoughts have been manipulated. We've been indoctrinated with dark psychology to think that everything that we learned in school was facts. That's false. It's all cap. So we've been indoctrinated to think like these people right here, they was just indentured servants and they was the ones running everything and they were the ones that was enslaving us. That's cap. Again, unfreeze your mind. If your mind is frozen in beliefs, your values are frozen in beliefs, your education is frozen in beliefs. It's not facts. It's not truth. It's not truth at all. So what do you think about when you see this hybrid European telling you that white is an invention? What do you think about when you hear this now, when you see this now, what are you thinking about?
Big happy family? Are you kidding? The whole history of America is the history of rich whites. There was no such thing as white people. I know some people who are now called white find that shocking, right? Because they think whiteness is real, right? But whiteness was created. Europeans didn't call themselves white. We didn't call ourselves white. We weren't all members of one big happy family. Are you kidding? Have you studied the history of Europe? The history of Europe was about killing each other. That's what we did in Europe. We just killed each other before we figured out there were other people to kill. We just killed each other.
Now you hear him, right? That's their nature. All right. That's their nature. But I want you to see something real quick on page 47. If you got this book, remember, always keep in mind, these people are not white people. Unfreeze your mind, unfreeze your belief system, and start going by what you know. And if you don't know, that's cool. Just find out. Once you find out, you're gonna learn it. You ain't gonna lie to yourself. That's why it's so important for you to read, for us to read, for us to start knowing, for us to get the facts, for us to get the truth. Because these sellout black miseducators, they ain't gonna tell you. If it's up to them, they ain't never gonna tell you. Because ignorance is $1 trillion business. That's why they never gonna tell nobody. What are these so-called black influencers, black miseducators? What do they always talk about? Think about it. They always talk about racism. They always talk about reparations. They always talk about police killing so-called black people. That's all they talk about. They don't talk about real history. Do they ever pull up a book? Do they ever pull up a receipt? Do they ever show you anything like this? Moors on horsebacks that was conquering lands with red flags behind them? No, sir. They ain't never going to show you that. Is they ever going to show you the Hex Alpha? Are they ever going to show you this? Why would they show us this? Ignorance is $1 trillion business. This is why they ain't going to tell you that. This is a Moor right here. He's an Olmec. See? Oh, Noble Drew Ali spoke about this too. If you pick up the national mission statement and you read it, all these people out here, they be talking, I'm a Moor. Yeah, if they can't show you no receipts, if they can't quote something from the prophet and show you some receipts on their own about how these are the basalt heads that's all up and down North America, Central America, South America, and all of the islands, if they can't pull up no documentation and they out here talking about UCCs, get a UCC, that's how you get out of something. Cap. They all frauds. But the truth is coming to light right now. It's all coming to light. Listen, truth is coming to light. Just stay faithful. Truth is coming to light. He got a fez on his head right there. Like, what you mean? Like, what you talking about? Explain this right here. Explain how in South Carolina, 1861, this is the flag. But this flag, the Ottoman Empire flag, which is the Moorish Empire flag, is in 1844, South Carolina. How could that be? How could that be if they were not directly in communication with each other? We just talking side notes right now. All this stuff is just side notes. You know what I'm saying? But people love seeing pictures. We got a gang of pictures for you then. South Carolina, Ottoman Empire, 1844, 1861. What? We can conclude that the Ottomans called themselves Turks because Turk is short for their country of Turkey. According to America is the True Old World, ancient Turkey was in the Carolinas, North and South Carolinas. North and South Carolina? North Carolina, South Carolina? Let's go a little further though. You see the European over here telling some truth now. He over here talking. The hybrid over here telling you that's no white people. That's an invention. So what does he say? He says European hybrids were the first slaves in America. Oh, wow. Do you know how the school system, all the books, all the curriculum would implode once the students start finding out they've been lying to us about everything. Look at this. The enslavement of European hybrids extended throughout the American colonies, and so-called white slave labor was a crucial factor in the economic development of the colonies. Look, Gradually, it developed into a fixed system, every bit as rigid and codified as Negro slavery was to become. So there was no so-called Negro slavery during these times. There was no slavery amongst these times with our people. It was these people who were being enslaved. History that they told us, it's all cap. Everything they told us was a lie. And it's time to start peeling them covers back. That's what Noble Drew Ali was talking about. It's time to pull the covers off all secret organizations. All of them. These people out here telling us, y'all persons of color. Y'all Latinos and Mexicans and y'all Hispanics. What? Yeah, you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? Look at this right here. Because you heard the hybrid European talking, right? Now watch this. This shit finna blow your mind. Watch this now. Hold up. Watch this. Let's go right here to this part of the story. Listen to this.
What does it mean to say black anyway? We still have the same genes.
Check this out.
Wherever the Moorish Empire went. And what does it mean to say black anyway? What is the definition of black? And then now we gotta contrast that. What is the definition of being a Moor means? What is a Moor? Because Moor does not designate color. Right? Black is very restricting. And furthermore, who is truly black? Black is the, if you look at it, right? No one is just really black. Look, this is black. This is black. I mean, sure, we can find some different hues of complexion, but no one is just truly completely black. In my thinking, not even the Ita in my country. No.
Now check this out. Hold up. If that wasn't crazy enough, right? Hold up.
And
if that wasn't crazy enough, she's from the Philippines. And she's talking about Moors. Because the Philippines, they're in tune. They're in tune. Listen.
I don't like yellow. Yellow is a word. Again, Eurocentric thinking, they've been calling Chinese yellows, Filipinos, brown. It didn't mean anything to us. It doesn't mean anything at all to say, hey, you're brown? We call ourselves really Pinoy Pinay, or simply put, Filipino or Filipina. Right?
You see that?
So this is what I'm talking about. I think we need to move away from this conditioned thinking. This is part of the Eurocentric thinking.
A Filipino. Check it out. Weapons of mortal land. All of these are weapons from mortal land. Guess where they from, though? From the Philippines. From the Philippines? Weapons of mortal land? Yes. The Philippines. Weapons of mortal land? All these right here is weapons. All these are Moorish weapons. Our brothers and sisters in the East, they know that they're Moors. She said mortals. That's what they're called. In the Philippines. So don't just think this is a belief system or religion. This has nothing to do with none of that. This is on a deeper level. This is a divine and national movement. This is spiritual. This is physical. All right? This is divine and national. Go back again. Look at this.
Wherever the Moorish Empire went, and seeing that they have been there since the earlier times, right? The earlier periods before new generations are coming in, new migrations coming. I'm just talking about my country, My sensible thinking is telling me, and not just that, and my intuition tells me there is a connection to the Moors.
What?
Right? So to say I'm black,
What?
to say you're black, what does that mean? It literally, actually, if you think about it, now that I'm thinking about it, it kind of excludes the rest of the other people that were also Moorish descent,
Ah.
right?
See,
Wherever the
see,
Moorish
you know what it
Empire went.
is. You know what it is. See, when you see another nationality talking about Moorish history, it kind of makes the wheels in your head turn. And you start thinking like, if you really like a critical thinker, like if you actually think outside the frozen mentality, if you think outside the frozen box, if you think outside what the schools have been telling us, fake teaching us, then you can start getting it. More just put up here. It's a place out there in the Philippines called the Moors. She's on here talking about Moors right now.
Now that I'm thinking about it, it kind of...
Huh? It's a book you could get called The Moral War. What? You could pick this up. But you think Moors is just limited to America and it's limited to Africa, North Africa. These are the lies that we've been told. Again, in this age of Aquarius, the truth is airborne. So if you want it, all you got to do is go out there and get it. It's out there. All you got to do is get it. It's there.
We still have the same genes that our ancestors have. We carry it with us. This is the study of epigenetics and genetics alone. I'm not going to go into so much detail because that's going to be another full day. But all I'm saying is that we carry those same genes. So is there a Moorish connection? Yes, absolutely. No doubt about it. I mean, all you got to do is look at some Filipinos, go back home, go to the Philippines, and you will see them. You will see the features alone are there. And our architectural designs. You can see it in the landscaping and some of the names of the places. Moro, Intramuros, the southern part of the Philippines have a lot of names that are derivative from the name Moors. We still have the same genes that our ancestors have.
Again, we never gonna run out of receipts. We never gonna run out of receipts. I don't know her name. Or I just know she's spitting fire out. So you heard her mention architecture, right? When you look at architecture from the book One World Tartarians, they try to act like Tartarians are not Moors, though. That's what I don't like. They trying to pop out with information and be like, nah, the Tartarians are Moors. Point blank, period. They try to act like Tartarians are not Moors, though. You see how they still trying not to say Moor. So it gotta be something with that name Moor that got the whole world shook. Because they know once you start talking about Moorish history, you start talking about who laid it down, who was out here doing it. See, I'm talking about architecture. Anytime you see an arch like that, that's called a Moorish arch. Google it. Moorish arch. You don't find, this is not black. This is not Indian. This is not Latino. This is not Hispanic architecture. This is Moorish architecture. See that? See that right there? When they talk about the Gothic churches and the Gothic castles, when you start looking at architecture, all you got to do is start paying attention to the arches. It's all around the world. How could all these buildings from all around the world, how could they be in unison with the architecture? Because they was the same people. They was getting their information, sharing their information with the same people. That's why you got buildings in Hamburg, Germany that look like this. You got buildings in Egypt, Cairo, that look like this. You got buildings. No, this over here is this is in Liverpool. This is in England, 1907. Do you see this? All these grand hotels and grand museums and grand courthouses, all those are that's Moorish architecture, Tartarian architecture. See that? Look at the architecture. These are living buildings. living buildings because they used to draw out ether. The top of these buildings used to harness free energy. See, they shut all that stuff down. That's why they tore down a lot of these buildings, because these buildings' designs was to harvest free energy. How you think these buildings got heated up? They had free energy on there. These designs right here was all free energy. This is to draw in the free energy, the ether. That's what this is for. Look at the shape. Look at the design. Look at the arches. Somebody want to argue about the Moorish didn't have anything. They didn't have nothing. Yeah, well then, how come all the buildings around the world got basically the same type of design, architecture? Look at the designs on them. Look at the tip. See that? Look at them. Just look at the buildings. Anytime they trying to talk trash or whatever, oh, the Moors, they wasn't no nothing. They was in North Africa. Yeah. Look how stupid they look when you start showing them information. Yeah, leave them looking stupid though. Just leave them there looking dumb when they talking trash. Don't argue with them. Just leave them there standing there looking stupid. Hit them with a couple of little facts and get up out of there. Stick and move. See this? Look at the buildings. Yo. Fam, look at the buildings. They was harvesting ether off the top of these buildings. That's why they got these up here. That's why they got these antennas up there. They harvesting free energy. But you know, Rockefeller and all the rest of them, once they got a hold of that information, free energy? No, sir. No, sir. No. We got to have petroleum come out. We got to have all this stuff come out that the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds, they can make a profit. You see that? They took away the free energy. They took away that. You know, it used to be cars that used to run on air. Cars that used to run on air. Yes, they're out there. See that? This is in Hungary. This is in Italy. All these giant buildings. This is in Cairo. See that? But nah. They don't want us out here thinking like that. They don't want us out here thinking like, they want us thinking about black and white and racism and white supremacy and watch the games all day. They don't want us out here looking around. They want us glued to our phones, stuck in social media, stuck in a program predictive algorithm. That's what they want. Y'all already know. You turn on your phone, you go to IG For You page, you gonna see all kind of madness up in there. Chicks they half dress. Dudes on some goofy shit. Everybody trying to do something stupid, trying to get some likes, some views, and attention. That's what they want, though. That's why they entertain these garbage ass rappers. Because they want that. They want low vibrational energy out here. Fight each other, kill each other, shoot each other, rob each other, steal from each other. That's low vibrational. These are high vibrational buildings. This is architecture that you come in a building and the sound alone to heal your body. That's what type time they was on. They were living buildings. The architecture now is just the so-called skyscrapers is trash compared to these. Can you imagine them putting up a building looking like these today? Today? Crazy, fam. You know. So, hold up. Let me show you this. Hold on.
We like McDonald's cheeseburger.
One
of the lines that made the song so famous is when I go Boricua, Morena, and what Boricua means Puerto Rican and black woman. That's like my love to the music, you know?
Shout out to Big Pun. But you see everybody trying to start another debate and argue, and they trying to talk about, they doing it again. These are engineered conversations. When they like, well, Boricua people, they didn't have nothing to do with hip hop. That's cap. Look, let me show you how that's cap, man. Where's that book at? Hold on. Where's that book at? The Tainos and people from the islands. Let me pull it up. Hip hop is a worldwide thing. It's not stuck over here. When they be talking about the Puerto Ricans and the Tainos and the people from the islands, they ain't the ones that invented hip hop. Stop capping. All right? Stop the ignorant foolishness. Hip hop is a worldwide culture. Worldwide. So when they talking about the Tainos, who are anybody from over here, Cuba, Jamrock, Haiti, Dominica Republic, anybody from Barbados, the Bahamas, St. Lucia, Dominica, Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago, St. Vincent, all these right here, this hip hop. All this down here is hip hop. All this down here is hip hop. All these people in these lands are Moorish Americans. Same people. Stop the cap. The same people. This is why nationality is the order of the day. If you want to link up all these people in North, Central, all the islands in South America, including the island of Hawaii, you link them up with one name. Moorish Americans. That's how you link them up. So Moorish Americans are the ones who invented hip hop. Moorish Americans. Not black, not African American, not Latino, not Hispanic. No, Moorish Americans. Because we are all from and indigenous to these lands. Moorish Americans. See how the fighting keep going on with our people? The fighting keep going on with our people because a lot of people, again, their mentalities are frozen from their childhood. J Trap, Islam, or a lot of people's mentalities are stuck in dark psychology. They're frozen in their belief system when they was children. They frozen in their belief system and their values when they was teenagers. They frozen into that. This is why we got to start the unfreezing process. What starts the unfreezing process? Knowledge, critical thinking, the activation of the knowledge. That's what starts the critical thinking. That's what gets somebody out of a frozen mindset. And people, real talk, that have been demoralized, they don't want to use critical thinking. It don't matter how much information you drop upon their headpiece. They not going to want to hear that information because they're indoctrinated. And the indoctrination is deep. This is why you could look at somebody and tell them, fam, we got a nationality. We're not black. This speaker is black. You could look at them dead in their face and talk to them in an intelligent tone. They still ain't trying to hear nothing you got to say. Why? They tell you, no, I'm a Latino. There is no land on the planet called Latino. There's no land on this planet called Latino land. Don't you realize that's an indoctrination? There's no land on this planet called Hispanic land, Black land, Pan-African land. Do you see Pan-African on here? Do you see it? Where does Pan-Africa exist? Nowhere. It's in La La Land. And anybody who think like that is sending you off. They're a fraud. Tell them I said it. Share this beam out with them so they can hear me saying it to them. We Moorish Americans, point blank period. This is why nationality is the link up. You heard old girl talking, right? She was like, we not yellow. You know, it's a series on Netflix called Warrior. Need to check that out. It's been out for a little while, but it's fire though. They was talking about how, when the Asians, when they got brought over here to the Americas, they was trying to colonize them and misidentify them and denationalize them by calling them yellow. Watch that series on Netflix called Warrior. I'm saying? They was trying to call these Asians who was in the Americas yellow people. But the Asians, they stuck to their heritage. They stuck to what they knew. They didn't go by what they believe and what they got told. They said, nah, we not yellow. We North Korean, South Korean. We're Asian. We're from Manchuria. We're Japanese. They stuck to what they knew. They didn't let nobody, you know what? It don't matter what you call yourself. You're yellow now. So you can be a yellow person. No, sir. They ain't go for that. Watch that series called Warrior. Ether. So check it out. Let's go.
That's like McDonald's cheeseburger.
Oh yeah, just a side note. Have y'all seen this? You wonder why people is going crazy outside? I'm gonna show y'all something why people outside going crazy. Look at this. Look, fam, this shit finna y'all. If you're somebody that eat this, you might get sick to your stomach because it's really that crazy. Hold up. Watch this. Watch this, fam.
McDonald's cheeseburger. Still warm.
McDonald's cheeseburger.
Just tempted to eat it. Okay, so we're going to leave our burger to digest for a while in the acid. Come back later.
Just for y'all checking this out. They put a McDonald's cheeseburger in hydrochloric acid. The same stuff that we got in our stomachs. Hydrochloric acid. Now you wonder why people was going crazy for them Popeye's chicken sandwiches. You wonder why people is going nuts outside. Because of what they eating. The fast food plays a part. No matter if you believe it or not. No matter if you believe it or look. Hydrochloric acid. Check it out. Hydrochloric acid. Watch what this test does.
And see what's happened. Hydrochloric acid is found in everybody's stomach. 3.5 hours. So we're
3.5 hours
to a tasty McDonald's cheeseburger after 3.5 hours of concentrated hydrochloric acid.
What?
Oh my god! I think it's absolutely disgusting.
What? You gonna put that in your body? Hey man.
So I mean, the fats aren't really going to dissolve very well because in your stomach there's lots of bile acids and thing in your actual body to do digestion. McDonald's cheeseburger.
That was just a little side note. So if you still eating crazy McDonald's and Burger King, he just dipped this in hydrochloric acid. And it didn't even dissolve the burger because it ain't real food. And you wonder why people going haywire and nutso outside. Look what they eating. You know what I'm saying? It's fam. They give it to us. We ain't gotta buy it though. We don't have to buy that. Hey man, watch this though. Hold up, let the more talk. Let the more biters cook.
Right here, this is from the Peabody Museum out of Harvard University. Some of their research that they was doing, and they discovered that Montezuma was actually a Moorish American, and the term Indian was used to replace the term Moorish in 1623. So guess what, guys? We're not going to argue with nobody about we Indian or we Native or we Indigenous. We have a nationality, people, and it's called Moorish American. A lot of people will argue and try to come on my post and dispute things, but this is history I'm showing you right here in front of your face.
Yeah.
So don't get mad at me because I rock these feathers and they look good on me, boo. Because this is what we supposed to do. We have a national headdress, guys. Put it on. Nationalize so nobody mistakes you for black. Black isn't even real.
So you done heard the more biters get at you. You done heard a Filipino mortal tell you about what is black. What is that? What is yellow? You done heard I told you. Now you done had a hybrid European tell you that white is an invention. It's a fabrication of the mind. It's not real. Now we got some more for you. Let the more bite talk to you.
Al Morocco, America. This is it, right?
Mm-hmm. Hold up, talk to him. Talk to him.
Al Morocco, America. This is it, right? Mm-hmm. It says copper-colored people. The various copper-colored people. The various. That's the true definition of American. You can find it in Webster's 1935 dictionary. That's the true definition. So anything that's not quote-unquote pale skin, because see, remember now, the so-called Indians supposed to be the real Native Americans. No, Moors are the Native Americans. Yes. They get that.
That's the penny test.
That's the one mother giving us up. That's what determines right there.
That's the penny.
Right. I'm one of those very copper-colored people. I always been called, people say, "Are you Indian?" all my life. And but here's the thing: the Indian is supposed to be the Native American,
right?
But this is not India. Moors are Native Americans, but some don't want to call them.
Talk to him.
Yeah.
And what?
Talk to him. Hold up. Let me show you there.
Yes.
Now, you remember how I showed y'all earlier, right? How Noble Drew Ali? Yeah, shout out to Mother Rise. If you don't know who Roz Mariah Bay is, this is her right here. So when somebody say, go to rvbaypublications.com, that's Roz right there. All right? That's the cosmic mother, the great cosmic mother right there. That's one of them. All right? Now, I showed y'all earlier about Europeans, how the Prophet Noble Drew Ali was going to make the European tell the truth. He said, listen to the radio. So in today's times, we would look at our phones, look at the news. You feel me? Look at social media, right? Adjusting with the times. But the message is still clear. Pay attention. That's what the prophet was telling us.
Morocco.
I'm going to make the European tell the truth. Watch this.
Yeah, so this right here. All right.
That's me right there.
Check it out. Story time. So back when I was younger, I go through the encyclopedias and the dictionaries because we didn't have no fucking television. And in one of those books, there was this page that had all of these flags on it, right? And then there was this flag right there with the cedar tree. It was the American flag. And I asked my parents, why is that the American flag? Because I was under the impression that we had stars and stripes and shit. And they said, well, because it's wrong. You know, they didn't know. They didn't know. And they didn't want to teach. So fast forward through time, and here I am thumbing through TikTok. I run into this fucking guy. I don't like everything that he says. You know, sometimes it fucking hurts my feelings and shit. But other times, I'm like, you know, I'm just happy I met this guy. He's right. That's the.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right
so
there.
this right here.
See? See? Nah. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali, he told us he was going to make the European tell the truth. And you see what the modern day European hybrids is doing. They out here telling the truth. And he like, y'all heard what he just said. He wrote me something on TikTok. And I just put the flag on there. That was my comment. My comment was, if he ain't writing nothing disrespectful, he just wrote something. Like he was agreeing with what I was talking about. And I just put the flag up there. And next thing I know, he tags me on that video on TikTok. So I'm like, you know what? I'm finna use this right now. I'm finna use this right now. What better time is it? So how can these so-called black educators, how can they clean that up? And then what they gonna do? What they gonna say? So when you see this flag right here, when you see the flag and you see a modern day hybrid European telling you that this right here is the American flag, what are they going to tell you? You see what I'm saying? See, the age of information, the age of Aquarius is here. It's up. So they can't lie no more. Because anytime somebody out here capping, you could pull the receipt up. All you got to do is pull your phone out. Just check your phone. Hey, What was you talking about again? Pull your phone out. Now you got the information. Or you can order the book. You see? Ain't no more capping allowed no more. Somebody out here talking loud and wrong and arrogant. Shut it down. Because now we got the ability to shut it down. Because we're not frozen in the belief system. Now we out here knowing. And if we not knowing, we going to find out. Find out. Now we could find out. This is why the prophet, he said what he said in the hadiths, in the prophecies. He said the new Moors are going to come in with their eyes open. Wide open. You see? We living in prophetic times right now. Do you know we living in prophecy times? Yo. Listen, he said it was going to be war. And people was going to be trying to find peace. Check this out. Shit crazy. Look. He said people were going to be trying to find peace. Where you at? People were going to be trying to find peace. But they not going to find peace. You're not going to find peace. Look. Where you at? Why they ain't gonna be able to find peace? Because they not dealing with law. Look at this. Look at this right here. What did it say? Some attributes of the Moorish Americans. These are some attributes. Let's see what it say real quick. It say, this right here. Moorish Americans have no earthly strings attached where they can be puppeteered by the wills of carnal man. Moorish Americans love the earth because it is their home, mother, and their gift from Allah. Moorish Americans are the embodiment and soul returning of the ancient ones, for they are the incarnation of the Atlanteans. Ironically, the European echelon has been aware of this universal inheritance of the Moorish for many centuries. They know. But it is not in their best interest to disclose the existence of Allah, the great God, that rests dormant in the center of them. We are the key to unlocking everything that we ain't got. You can only do it under the name Moorish American. Point blank, period. That's the only way you can unlock the keys. What does it say, though? Moorish is the answer to all global problems of the nations who are seeking peace. For, quote, there is but one way peace will be obtained, end quote. And that way is through them and the grand principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Being Moorish American will give the option offered to all other nationalities, the option to change citizenship. It is not possible to change one's nationality. That's key. You can't change your nationality. You are what you born as. You can't change that. If a Moorish American elects to become a citizen of the United States or Egypt, etc., the choice is for the conscious. However, one must have a national citizenship to exchange for any other citizenship. Prior to officiating into their own, you have to belong to a nation before you can do any nation business with any other nation. You have to. Otherwise, you dead out here. You done for out here. I've seen the question posted up here. Somebody posted, are Israelites Moors? Israelites are Moors. First of all, Hebrew is a misnomer. Hebrew is really Hebrew. They're not Hebrew Israelites. This is where the frozen beliefs and the frozen values, they play in with that. Hebrew is the real name of them people. Hebrew means to cross over to the other side. So they're not Hebrew. They're Hebrew. Israelites are a tribe, a conglomerate of Moors. From what you would say, pick up this book right here. This book right here, it'll go into that. This book right here. Get this. Get this. Hebrew is a language. It's not a people. This is why the Hebrew Israelites keep running into problems. When they go over there and be like, I'm going to Israel. And then they get over there. And Israel, so-called Israel, that started in 1948. Some of y'all grandmothers is older than that. Grandfathers is older than that. Pick up this book right here. You want to get into that. Talking about Israelites and who are the Israelites and where they come from. Get this book right here. It's a whole section in here that's talking about that. Get this. Hebrew is a language. It's not a bloodline. You can't be a people without a land. A language. Look, man. These people run into these problems out here in this world because they don't have a nationality. They don't have, first of all, if you're going to say you're a nation, you have to have a great seal. So when somebody might ask you, hey, what do the Moors got? Where's their great seal at? You looking at it right here. You pull out that green piece of paper in your pocket. You looking at it. Hold up. Let's do it. Let's do it right now. Real quick. You pull this out your pocket. You looking at it right here. See, this how ignorant these people be when they try to talk trash about the Moors and they dealing with their feelings and what they believe in. This how ignorant they look and sound. This is the great seal of the continental United States. We talking about the Moors right here. See this right here? See that? You got to have that. That's number one. You got to have a great seal. You got to have that. You got to have another seal. This is the two seals. This is the seal for the Moors. This is the seal for the Moors. This is the seal for the Albions. Two separate nations now in the land as one nation. This is called a union. Moorish nation, Albion nation. One land. But they're not American. You understand? This nation right here can never be American, though. Do you see that? They can never be American. This is why nationality is the order of the day. Because you knowing your nationality puts them on notice of who you are and who they not and who they can never be. You see that? Then you come right here. Anybody that say they got a nation, they got a national flag. Nation of Islam, they ain't got a national flag. Hebrew Israelites, they ain't got a national flag. Indians, they ain't got a national. American Indians, they ain't got a national flag. Pan-Africans, you don't have a seal. You don't have a seal. You don't have a national flag. What do you have? You don't have nothing but talk. You ain't got a national flag. You ain't got a treaty flag. See, this is the Star-Spangled Banner. See, this is the flag. This is a banner of colonial states of the Union, representing English, Irish, Germans, French, Scottish, and the Dutch, Holland, companies, corporation, and guilds. A flag of 7 red stripes and 6 white stripes, totaling 13. It has a blue canton containing stars, which symbolize the states. The stars are white. It was officially adopted in 1932. This is not a flag. This is exactly what it says it is. It's a Star-Spangled Banner. See? It's wicked out here. This school system, we thinking we've been pledging allegiance to a flag. This is a Star-Spangled Banner. This ain't no flag. The Moorish flag is right here. This right here is the national flag. Along with this flag. Along with that flag. Along with that flag. You see that? You see how the truth is right in front of our faces? But we've been misinformed to look every place else but what's directly in front of us. Directly in front of us. Listen, man. Shit crazy. Crazy. So you seen the European talking. He was telling you that white is an invention. It's no such thing as white people. The European telling you that. And you still gonna listen to black and white people. There's no black people. There's no white people. That's slave talk. That's ignorant talk. That's a fool talk. He telling you right here what it is. Look, before I slide. Right here.
Right? Created. Europeans didn't call themselves. There was no such thing as white people. I know some people who are now called white find that shocking, right? Because they think whiteness is real. There was no such thing as white people. I know some people who are now called white find that shocking, right? Because they think whiteness is real, right? But whiteness was created. Europeans didn't call themselves white. We didn't call ourselves white. We weren't all members of one big happy family. Are you kidding? Have you studied the history of Europe? The history of Europe was about killing each other. That's what we did in Europe. We just killed each other before we figured out there were other people to kill. We just killed each other, right?
Now you hearing them tell you the truth about what it is. How many people are going to do research on this and dive deeper? Don't just leave it up to this video. No, dive deeper and see there's the whole so-called white is an invention. White has everything to do with a status. What is your status? What is your rank in the land? It has nothing to do with your skin complexion. Black has everything to do with status, except white is a high status that belongs to the Moors. Black is a status that belongs to chattel property, slaves. You understand? So why would you want to identify as property? Is that what you want to be? You want somebody to identify you as property? Because that's what black is associated with. Christian black codes. Code Noir, 1724. What else you need to see? You still, when you call yourself black, you putting yourself in modern day slavery by your own volition. This is what you doing. When you call yourself a Latino, a Hispanic, you're putting yourself in these codes. Pan-African, you're in these codes. Native American, Indian, you're in these codes. This Hispanic, you're in these codes. You're not exempt. You're in these codes too. The only way to get out of these codes is to declare a nationality. You can do that right now with your words. I'm a Moorish American. I'm Moor. And then you live that out. You study and you live that out. Why would you want to identify as every time you think of property, black is associated with that. Indian is associated with that. Latino is associated with that. Hispanic is associated with that. So why would you want to identify as property? But property belongs to somebody. Do you belong to somebody or are you free? Do you have unalienable rights or are you somebody's property? Because that's what black is and all the rest of them is. Think about it. Think about it. Listen, I hope y'all got something from this beam out. I appreciate each and every last one of y'all that tune in. All right. Appreciate all y'all that tune in. If you got questions, don't hesitate. Hit me up. All right. It might be a while before I get to you, but I'm going to get to you, though. I'm going to get to you, fam. Hold up. I was trying to find something, and I just found it. You know about this? Let me show y'all these books before I move around, though. All right? Let's go. Let's go. Shout out to Boston. Yes, sir. What y'all know about this? Islam. What y'all know about that? Shout out to LA. Mississippi. Islam. Critical thinking. What's this? Come clean. You gotta come clean. Yes, sir. Come clean. Virginia, Islam. Cali, Islam. Come clean. Islam, or check it out. Much love to all y'all Moors, Asiatics, Muslims. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one though. Run this beam out back. European telling you, the hybrid telling you, white is an invention. There's no such thing as white and black people. I'm gonna check y'all on the next one though. Much love. Peace, Moors.